All right, so this one is probably going to be a quicker episode talk because there's no substance here. There's really nothing major that happened, and it's weird because they revealed the Sixth Ranger, but I don't know. So to get into it, basically, it leads off or starts off right where Don Red died, and they're talking to Kaito, and he's like, I don't even know what to do. I don't know how to bring him back. Blah blah blah. Then we get the whole Monster of the Week thing, which is it's like a I guess the best way to describe it to Western audiences, because I don't know what the game is called, but it's like a mixture of chess and checkers, but it's a different type of game that they play in Japan. I don't know what the name of it is. I've seen it, I've heard of it, but I can't recall the name of what they call it. But it's the best way to say it is it's like checkers, and that's what the Monster of the Week is kind of based off of. Is the guy wants to become better, or basically like a master at the game essentially. So then they spend the episode. The four of them spend the episode kind of running around chasing the monster. The Evil Rangers, excuse me, get involved. Evil Blue kind of protects them and says, after they kind of flee, he talks to the other two and says, hey, like, it felt like a cheap win. It felt like I cheated to beat Don Red. I don't like it. And just, he's basically feeling human emotions, and he doesn't consider it a win. And he wants to basically believe, like, hey, like, he's not dead. Like, he shouldn't be dead because this is stupid. I didn't, officially kill him. I cheated to win. And so, basically his companions are like, well, you did it. Oh, well, whatever. Let's just go kill the rest of them. is essentially what they're like. So then again, they get thrown back into the fight again later on. And again, I mean, we'll talk about the Sixth Ranger here again, which is he has a whole little subsection, and then Don Black and Don Pink have their own little subsection here too, which is a subplot. But that's about it. Like they go from fight to hey, this is not how I wanted to win to fight to Don Red comes back somehow with the point system, but he can't stay. And that's that's essentially how the episode is. Like that's how the main plot is. And then the Sixth Ranger in here is just kind of thrown in as, hey, I have a similar origin story to Don Red. He is not the last of his kind. And he has no powers, and basically his whole village kind of hates him, in a sense. And I felt nothing for that. I just like, I don't feel bad because again, he the way he's appeared, it's like okay, this guy's gonna become the Sixth Ranger. It's like okay, well, why should I care about what? Because his whole village doesn't care, and they kind of set it up where you're just not supposed to care about him. Like we might not even go back to that village for the rest of the series. So he goes to the city. Everyone's like, okay, thank God he's out of here, and he shows up and throws rocks at the Evil Rangers because he has no powers. And they essentially just, our Don brothers kind of just drag him away and says, hey, what the heck are you doing? And then he just kind of follows them around to the final battle and just kind of sits in the background. Does literally nothing else in the episode besides basically throw rocks. And we have a terrible origin story, in my opinion. I mean, I get it. You kind of want to make it say like he's kind of similar because he's. It looks like they're going with he's the same race as Don Red. He's not the last of his kind. So maybe there's more out there on different planets. This is so dumb. If they're, I mean, they made last episode of hey. He's the last one. Don Red's it. If he dies, that's the last of his kind. That's the last of his race. And then they just kind of throw that logic out the window and say, nope. It's like, okay. And so that's basically the main plot is Monster, chase Monster, fight Evil Rangers, split up from them, save the Sixth Ranger, talk to him. Evil Rangers have a talk. Fight the monster. Don Red comes back, supposedly with the points, but he can't stay around. And that's it. That's the episode. And then the subplot is basically Don Black is on the run in between the fights with the Monster of the Week from the cop, which again we've seen the cop many times. He's I guess it's basically confirmed he's a bestial. They don't come out and say it, but I'm gonna say it. So he's chasing him around, and they've set up this whole weird thing where Don Black is on a motorcycle and he does not hit Mio, but Mio kind of falls over. And he thinks she's Natsumi, but he's got the cop on his tail, so he books it, and she she goes to the hospital after she kind of passes out. After again, she didn't really get hurt, and I guess you can say when she passed out, she kind of hit her head. So I mean, you can say that, but they kind of played up as like she can't leave for over a day. And they want to just check on her vitals and all this stuff and whatnot, and that's where Don Pink comes into this. He gets called to the hospital. While they're kind of discussing with the Sixth Ranger, like what the heck are you doing here in this city? Blah blah blah. You have no powers. So he goes off to the hospital, and basically that's when the greed kind of kicks in because he's upset. Like, oh, she got hurt. She does not explain to him that. Nothing really happened. She just was kind of in the path, but she didn't really get hurt. But he kind of sees it as, okay, well, someone attacked my Mio, and I'm gonna kill him. So we get the whole thing where he gets teleported to the final battle between segments here for this subplot. When he goes back to the hospital, he's kind of sitting there while she's kind of resting, sleeping, and we see the greed monster appear, which I don't know why the greed monster didn't appear. I think it was like episode 7 or 8 when we had a serious Don Pink who basically was pissed off, like, hey, my Mio got captured, kidnapped, now I'm gonna go kill this guy. So why didn't the greed monster show up then? I don't know. I'm not gonna think too much into it, but it made me pause and think, like, they could have kind of set up something then, and maybe the greed didn't fully take hold, and then now the greed is fully taken out. Which again, it's a complete misunderstanding, and I don't know. This episode was really, I don't want to say bad, but it just was not an entertaining episode at all. Next week, though, looks insane. So again, nothing else really to talk about this week. I mean, we're what, 8 minutes in or whatever. Like, there's just not a lot to talk about in this episode. But next week's again, Sixth Ranger is going to get his powers. Don Red is somehow going to come back with the help of the Sixth Ranger here. I'm going to guess that Don Red and the Sixth Ranger are going to fuse. We don't know. We obviously don't have a name. Like the form he uses. So that's why I'm calling him the Sixth Ranger right now, because we don't know what his form is called. But I'm guessing Don Red and the Sixth Ranger kind of fuse, because there's this, there's 2 shots in this trailer for next week where, I mean, I like the suit. I really like the suit here. It kind of looks like a fused suit, and then you kind of see them kind of separated as they kind of transform next to each other too. So again, that's why I think it's a fusion of them. But next week looks a whole lot better than this episode. So again, we're not even 10 minutes in, and yeah, I'm already ready to wrap up because there's just not a lot of substance in here. So for now, like the video, share the video around, subscribe, and I'm out of here. Peace.